Well, so Bobby, as we get into your story, I mean, one of the main pieces, and I know one of the turning points, was your skin cancer. You developed it, it's out there, it's more common than we probably all want to admit as women, as people. Tell us a little bit about your journey and what happened there.
So, being diagnosed with skin cancer was a jarring experience, but it also taught me resilience, it taught me strength, and most importantly, it taught me how self care is crucial to survival and success. We as entrepreneurs are constantly chasing the dollar sign because we understand the importance. No, money is not the most important thing in life, but it affects everything that is important, right? It affects the quality of food you eat, the quality of healthcare, of quality of clothes you wear. And it's just a vehicle and a tool to the next phase in life. So chasing the dollar sign and neglecting self health is crucial. And to every entrepreneur, and that's the lesson I learned, is place yourself first. And I just want people to know that they're not alone in this fight and that their strength is immeasurable. You can do it all. You just have to have the right resources and environment.
I have to ask, I mean, just because I have this like olive skin and I don't burn easily, but goodness, do I walk out and attract the sun more so than I feel like anyone else around me. I have to be really careful with sunscreen. I'm very, very cautious, especially of my face more so than my hands and probably other places. And that's been learned behavior. What was your experience? I mean, did you just have happen to discover this on your own? Or if you don't mind sharing, I know that that would probably help a lot of people.
No, absolutely. It was almost by a fluke. I was one of those girls where I found it while I was pregnant. And I was one of those girls that just was looking at her body, like the transformation of the pregnancy, right? And so I was looking in the mirror and happened to turn around and see this. And I have sort of beauty marks or freckles, whatever you want to call them, all throughout my body. And there's one that stood out, not in size, but more so in color. It was as dark can be. It was pitch black and it was very small. And I was like, this looks odd. And, I was trying to turn as far as I can. And I thought, even though I suspected and knew that I should have had someone look at it, this happened to be during the pandemic. So COVID was around and access to a physician wasn't so prevalent. And I thought, if it was easy to see a physician at the time, I almost wanted the ignorance part of the transaction and said, I don't want to know if it's bad, especially while I'm pregnant, right? And so I waited 3 months post giving birth to my child. I decided to go to the doctors, and sure enough, it was melanoma. So it's a deadly form of skin cancer. And the doctor said, rush in here immediately. It will spread like wildfire. And even more now, 3 years later, or almost 3 years later, I find out it's one of the most deadliest cancers you can get. And so, but to your point, you mentioned sunscreen and what have you, and that's a non-negotiable now for me. I actually wear long sleeves in the summer, and there was a period of time where I started to fear going out. But I honestly, and this is just my gut feeling, although science and doctors tell you that it's the sun and they stop there, I truly believe my gut tells me that it's something more than just the sun. It's maybe neglecting my health for so long because I was chasing financial success in business. You eat what your arm can reach, you sleep as much as time permits until you have to jump out of bed to go run the
Yeah,
next,
that was my morning this
project.
morning, Bobby. I know exactly
Oh
what
my
you mean.
God, don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, prioritize yourself. If you're building an empire, which we all are, right? So make sure that you're the foundation of this empire. If you're not solid, if you're not mentally healthy and physically healthy, that empire you're building is just going to come tumbling down and
Crashing
you're not
down.
serving anyone anymore. Absolutely. And so we're no longer serving our whatever it is that you're serving, your family, your friends, your work. So that to me is how I came about finding about the cancer. Is I was just looking in the mirror about the body transformation.
Yeah, and I think so many of us do that with a lot of things. We're like, I really don't want to know right now. I've got enough on my brain. My bandwidth might be low right now, and I'll deal with it when I get there. And to your point, I mean, we really have to be realistic about our health, about where we are with that mindset, where we are on top of that empire and what that looks like emotionally and mentally. So you made a switch after that. Is that what it took for you to really take a step back and analyze where your self-care was and where your, sunscreen practices were and take a hard look at yourself?
That's exactly where my life turned around. Once you have a scare, especially for your life, right? We're all scared to lose our jobs or lose a partner or lose something that we view as valuable. Having cancer definitely tests you in ways that you can't imagine, right? Now I plan differently, I speak differently, I behave differently because of that life scare. Now we understand as business people how valuable time is, but now that you actually feel that you're losing time is it's scary. It's scary, and that's exactly where I took the shift. I lean now more heavily into therapy, whether that's journaling or taking a walk just to unwind, or meditation, whatever that case is. But that type of therapy, whatever it is that you find as therapeutic, that's how I transition all that energy.
What would you say to someone who is going through something like this, where life is being questioned, where it could be a surprise? How would you support that person?
Know that you're not alone. Everyone feels like they're alone when they're going through some sort of a challenge in life. And you're not alone. Seek help. There's no shame in asking for help. I think our pride and ego sometimes hold us back. And always question your environment. Are they uplifting or are they suppressive? I think it's so crucial to be surrounded by the right people and the right things. Sometimes just having, a piece of, one of our products at Bodela that we created, it's crystals. And whether you believe in the magic of crystals or candles, right? Or not, the fact that it smells good, it might uplift you a bit. So anything that's uplifting, surround yourself with, whether it's a person or an object. So that's my biggest advice, is be aware of your surrounding. And we check in on everything in our life. You check in on your kids, your pets, your family, your friends, your job. And the last person you check in on, if you even do, is yourself. So pause during the day, look in the mirror, or just check on yourself.